Let's talk about display ads in Google Ads. So I'll start with creating a campaign, then explain about display ads. This time I'm gonna click display and I can choose my goal. I've selected sales and I'm gonna select standard display campaign. So again I'll confirm the landing page. Change the target location to Bengaluru. Language bidding. So automatically it'll show up for conversions, but this time I'm gonna choose a different bidding strategy, that is viewable impressions. I'm changing my bidding strategy to viewable impressions because this is a display ad campaign. With viewable impressions bid strategy, I am not going to pay for every click. I am basically gonna pay for impressions. That is, one impression is that when a user sees my ad for 50% or if he sees for more than 1 second. So I'm gonna pay for per 1,000 such impressions. So one unit is here will be per 1,000 and per unit will be for a user who views it my ad for 1 second or sees it 50% of it. So this is how the bidding strategy differs in display ad. This is not applicable for search ads. So remember, you can use this if you have to create campaigns such as brand awareness, and if you are a new entrant in the market, you have to create visibility for your product. You can use display network extensively using this bidding strategy and overcome the cost per click hurdle or cost per click challenge in case of search ad. So let's go ahead with this bidding strategy and create our first display campaign. So as you can see on the rightmost pane, I will be able to see the amount of impressions for my uh, bidding strategy which I had applied. So I will go ahead with the viewable impressions bidding strategy and work on my campaign from here. So I'm going to define again the daily budget. In this case, let me have a daily budget of 200, and under ad group I can define audience now. So based on audience interest I can define it. So let me just start with green tea so it doesn't what I would do is I'll go to browse and look at the interest and habits of the people. So food and dining, maybe lifestyle, no. So I'll expand the food and dining itself. So I'm looking for tea drinkers or tea connoisseurs, which may include you know to include for my ad. So I'm looking for few more categories. I'll also include sports and fitness. So there are tea drinkers in that category also. So once I've done with that, I can also choose the demographics. So you can see I have different targeting methods in terms of demographics, in terms of people's interest. I can choose gender, I can choose the age group, I can choose the household income based on the income. uh, Now I have to create an ad add group bid. So the recommended ad group bid is already shown up here, for which I get to see the impressions, how much impressions should I will be getting it. So I've just changed it to 7, and if I change it back to other value, definitely my targeting reach will vary. So here you can see on the right pane. So this is interesting information, piece of information which I'll get. So I've changed it to 5. Now we saw that the so with search ads you basically can create the search ad within the dashboard. However, with display ad you have an option of uploading display ads, and this specification is available in Google Ads help. So if you want to do, you can if you want to come up with your own display ad, you can do that, but there are guidelines for the same, and you can follow those guidelines and create and upload the display ads, which most of the agencies usually do, that is digital agencies. In case you want to do the responsive ad or create on your own, you can follow the Google display ad dashboard instructions and do the same. In our case, I'm not going to upload the ad. For every display ad which I'm going to create, I'm going to use Google's dashboard itself. So it will be the same like the way we did for the search ad, but here the format differs. So you will have different kind of requirement for the ad creation. So let's go ahead and look at what we are gonna do with the responsive display ad now. So I'm gonna click on plus that is build responsive display ad, and here we go. So we have to have the images, logo, and you can see the preview for these. You might be familiar with these kind of display ads which you usually see in Google's partner network. So the first thing I'm going to add is the logo. So this has been pulled up from my website itself, and I'm going to use this for my logo. So these are the basic requirements: an image, a logo, and a headline and a description line. These are the requirements for a Google display ad. So let's go ahead and fulfill that. It does take a little bit of time since it is processing large large amount of data, and also data from across the globe. So this usually it takes a bit of time to come up. And also remember, display ad doesn't start immediately. Sometimes it requires at least 12 to 24 hours in many cases to start rolling. So the logo is added. I'm gonna select an image. If you don't have an image, you can go ahead and select from the royalty free sites such as Pixabay and Unsplash and use it. For now, I'm just gonna see if you can use the stock images from Google. Usually what happens is Google does work for the stock images. At times it throws error for the same. So let me see if it works for it. So I've added the images and remove the logo. So here I can see different preview for desktop and mobile. Need to add the logo and also add a landscape image. So I will have to look for the same. So I reinitialize the logo and save it. This time it would be quicker because else it should be there in Google's cache. So see, it quickly added up. So you can also see the progress of the ad build. Let me add a headline. Again, you need to have a catchy headline here, the way you do in search ad. So you can have, I'm gonna type out like fresh finest pure Assam tea. So there are two headlines, and there is a long headline also, and description. You can add 5 different descriptions and few more headlines. So I'm just gonna stick to what I have it for the moment. What I have it for the moment in the dashboard. So I'll stick to those headlines, 3 different headlines. So this might be randomly populated. I'll go to my landing page, product landing page, and pick a text for my long headline. So this might come in handy. So the display ad, again, you have to have a good sense of ad copy. You need to come up with the catchy headline and also description, apart from visually, appealing image. So still the landscape image, when I need to, there are 3 requirements. One is logo, 2 images, one for the portrait or square, and other for the landscape. So now you see the logo and the copy shows up, and you can also preview the same. So this image is required. I can go ahead and select the same. I can go back and look for the required image and select the same. When you are in display ad dashboard, things might be a bit slow. So because as this involves a lot of data coming in from form of image, so there would be a bit slow approach. So here is again another targeting option, which is conservative targeting, no automated targeting. That is, you can set targeting yourself, and conservative automation or aggressive. So I'll choose the conservative one itself, and go back to again finishing my ad copy. So I'm gonna finish up the description now after the headlines being done. So I need to add one more image, that's a landscape image, and I'm gonna use this one. Let me see if this works. Most often there are issues with Google's display stock images. So let me see if this is gonna work and my copy is gonna look good or what. So this moment it looks like it is working. So even I can use I'm just checking for few other images if which would suit my ad copy. So I'm just trying and seeing. So you could see the display would work for display network, YouTube, Gmail. So all this network, my ad would show up, and it will be automated by Google's ad platform. I need not do anything. So I'll just go ahead and add this to ad group. Oops, there's some error showing up. So it says I know one square image. So basically again the image which I removed for the square I shouldn't have. So I'm just gonna pick one and uncheck the LAN or use both. Let me see if I can. So once you applying any change with the image, it does take time with the display ad. So looks like we are good. Let me see if we can go ahead and create. So it works, looks like it works now. No, there are still errors. I think what I'll do is I'll take off the images and add an image on my own from the royalty free one. So that is what would work for me. So I'm gonna go back to the tried and tested method, that is to use an royalty-free image from one of the royalty-free sites called Unsplash. I'll go ahead and download a high-res image and use the same. So I've gone to Unsplash looking for a teacup or anything related to tea. I'll just use one of these images. I think I can go ahead with this one, the landscape one. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and download and upload this in the display ad, and I can use the same. So this way I can sort out this error and proceed to create the campaign. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and remove the image and add the one which I have to do it. So I'll click on upload, choose the file, and upload the same. So I'll use it for landscape as well as for square. So image, job done, save. So I need to take off the asset which I had used, which is not working for me. So I'll knock off those images and use the one, my logo and the image which looks okay. So once I applied, create a campaign, everything looks fine and should be fine. So you see, this is how I can create a display campaign and start using it.